Hey everybody, just giving everyone a second to come on the feed here. We'll get started in a minute. Thanks for the hearts, guys. All right. Flip the camera here. How's everybody doing out there in Periscope land? We're live here on Periscope. Good morning. And this video will be on demand for people on Facebook. People on Facebook, you're not going to see the hearts down here, the love we're getting on Periscope, and the comments here on Periscope. So if I respond to a question, it's people who are asking questions on Periscope. All right, so today we're going to talk about adrenal fatigue. Adrenal fatigue is something that we see a lot in the clinic. And again, if you don't know who I am, I'm Dr. Will Cole. We have a functional medicine practice here in Pittsburgh, and most of our patients are outside of Pittsburgh. We do webcam and phone consultations for people around the world, our virtual functional medicine practice. Thanks so much for the love, guys, and the hearts and all the invites. Thanks, Jimmy. Appreciate it. So we are going to talk about adrenal fatigue. In my opinion, adrenal fatigue is not very descriptive and can be kind of incorrect terminology, or people can come up with their minds that it's not what it seems to be, if I can get it out. It's really a brain adrenal axis issue, something called hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis dysfunction. HPA axis is that brain adrenal communication. So adrenal fatigue is not really to do with your adrenal glands directly. It has to do with your brain. It's a brain adrenal axis dysfunction. This is different than something like Addison's disease, which is an autoimmune adrenal issue, which is something that we do see quite frequently is autoimmune reactivity against the adrenal glands. That's the immune system attacking the adrenal glands. That's different than what we're talking about here with adrenal fatigue. So adrenal fatigue is something that we see a lot via labs. And again, these are labs that we run for people all around the world. So it's typically a saliva test that we run, and it's mapping that cortisol stress hormone. So what's cortisol? Cortisol is that fight or flight. You're being chased by a tiger, your cortisol comes up, it brings your blood sugar up, brings your blood pressure up, and that causes your body to respond to that fight or flight response. And your body needs that cortisol. But what happens with chronic stressors, whether it's external stress or there's a chronic gut issue or multiple different stressors, this can really fry that brain adrenal axis dysfunction. So your body can't lose weight, you're tired all the time, you're not sleeping good, you have temperature issues. This is adrenal fatigue, and it can cause a lot of different issues throughout the body. So I wrote an article. It's actually on Mind Body Green today. Actually, you know what? I have to sign a paper here for a patient. So this is real life Periscope, guys. I'm signing a. All right. Hold with me. Keep the hearts coming. Thanks, Ashley. Appreciate it. Thanks. All right, so we're looking at this brain adrenal axis issues. This is common correlated in the medical literature to autoimmune issues, emotional stress. A lot of my patients who are under a huge stress, like maybe end of a marriage or caring for like an ailing parent or a loved one, emotional stress can really fry that brain adrenal axis. Excessive exercise, if you're living in the gym, exercise is great, but it can be too much of a good thing. And if your body can't handle the stress of exercise, your exercise maybe done with good intentions, right? But it's actually perpetuating that stress cycle and causing your body to be more adrenal fatigued. Food intolerances are linked in the medical literature to adrenal fatigue. So underlying gut issues, microbiome dysfunctions, something like SIBO, small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, can be correlated to adrenal fatigue as well. And toxins. Toxins is a huge factor in the medical literature when it comes to that brain dysfunction with your hormonal system, your endocrine system. Someone's just staying 16 years at a corporate job and still struggle with stress even in low stress situations. Very true. We see a lot of people in corporate America, after they retire, their body's still on that bad sleep pattern. All their habits are still there in retirement. They thought they'd be able to relax, but that stress is like perpetuated in their body. We really need to break that cycle and start rehabbing the brain adrenal axis. Yeah, other people on Periscope are kind of identifying with that too. You're not alone. There's a lot of people that are working, nurses particularly. We see a lot of nurses that are working crazy hours. It's affecting their sleep, even in retirement. It's affecting the brain-adrenal axis. It's affecting their hormones. They can't lose weight. They're not sleeping good. They don't feel good. They're depressed. This is, in most cases, at least in part, an adrenal fatigue issue, and we have to deal with it and start healing your hormones and healing the brain. So here is a questionnaire for you guys to ask yourselves that I wrote in the article. And again, you can look at this article in length on, I guess the easiest way would be either on my Instagram. The link is on there at Dr. Will Cole. On Facebook, you can just search Dr. Will Cole, or on Twitter at Dr. Will Cole. The link to the article is there. It's on the link will be on my social media pages. So if you're slow to start in the morning, that's one sign of hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis dysfunction or adrenal fatigue. If you crave salty foods or sugary foods, if you have a low libido, a lot of times people think, oh, my sex drive is low, it's just normal, I'm getting older. And it's something that I mentioned in the article, all these health problems, just because they're common doesn't make them normal. Feeling lousy and having a low sex drive and not able to lose weight on medications, that's really common, but it's not normal. And it's not a sign of optimal health. It's a sign of hormonal problems, which is very common. So other issues that can, if you can't stay asleep, you're waking up at night maybe in a panic, or you just can't fall back asleep. If you get afternoon headaches, if you get that afternoon energy slump, like you just crash at like 2 to 4 p.m. and you just need to take a nap, or you need coffee, and then sometimes you get a second wind in the evening. You're like, wow, I was really tired. Even if you didn't take a nap, you get that second wind in the evening. That's typically that brain adrenal axis dysfunction. If your nails are weak, if you're moody, or I mentioned in the article, if you're hangry, if you just like have to crave food and you're super grumpy and everybody better avoid you because you're super irritable. If you have difficulty losing weight, we talked about that. If you have blood sugar issues, these can be all signs of that brain adrenal axis issue, or what they call adrenal fatigue. So in the article, I show you step-by-step guides on how to start healing from this and give you really detailed tips here. So look for me on social media. You can go at Dr. Will Cole on Twitter or on Instagram or on Facebook, and you can be able to click the link there. It's live on Mind Body Green today. All right, guys. Well, follow me if you're not following me already on Periscope, and for people on Facebook, you can follow me on Periscope as well. I will be scoping a little bit later, or maybe some other health topics as well. But for now, I have to go. I have a patient coming in. Thanks for the hearts, everybody. We'll see you next time, okay?